The Bridge 99 FM, keeping the Caribbean connected.
Yes, sir. Blessings, everybody. I don't know from here the bad instrumental. You know that this is the streets according to who? Me, your boy Shelz. Heard right here on the Bridge 99 FM. I don't know the vibes as always. We have a lot to discuss as usual. Remember, people, you can be a part of the conversation. You know it go already. Just find the Bridge 99 FM on Instagram, Twitter. Just find us on all social media platforms and just reach out. Make me know if I chat foolishness. Make Bridge know. Say, say, boy, Shelz now going good. Tell him to do this or tell him to do that. You know what I mean? I might not listen, but, it's nice to see the interaction same way. See? Now, how you guys doing? As always, I'm always telling us, it's so hard, coming up with topics for the new week because so many things happening in Jamaica. But there's one thing more, just highlight really quickly. Struck a nerve. Benji, I know you can relate to this. I don't know some far from Portmore, is it? I just want to quickly talk about too much loose things are going on in the city. You understand what I say? I know crime and violence is becoming like a natural thing, which it shouldn't be. But please, I see too much, robbery and them thing, the shooting and people, please, the powers that be, please, just ensure that we can maintain the peace. I almost say powers that be, but not necessarily mean the police. You know what I mean? You know what I talk about? Civilians. Hear what I say, please. And the G them in the streets, and they know what going on. Some of them people that do them loose thing, they're not far from what we are talking about. You see? So let's just keep the peace and just keep the energy. You see me? Christmas or fall, we don't have to make it a bloody one. Saying? Anyways, I forget that one there off on my chest. And besides, so much good development are going on at Portmore bench. Them are going like them want to mash up the vibes. I digress. Speaking of good development, nice like a segue into tonight's topic. I wanted to but no Benji. I'm the king of segues, man. But yeah, speaking of development, I wanted to continue with some toxic conversation, You know me love the toxic behavior, but my producer and people in the streets make me know so the most toxic thing I go on is the vibration what they go on with NHT and the root vent towers thing. Why? It never fly up on my radar instantly. Come on, read the meds them thing there, but so from here to the streets I talk about it. I have to say, so I have to check in and see what go on. So, so that's basically the topic tonight. You know what I mean? We're talking about home ownership tagged by an unrealistic price. You know what I mean? So can the price don't make sense with them houses nowadays? Can young people afford it? Can anybody? Can working class people afford this thing? We don't know. We're going to find out that tonight. So, yeah, so my producer give me a little thing. And so, as I said, the whole thing forward on Twitter with the NHT vibration. And yeah, at first, I never see so much people come together and do maths. Everybody are trying to figure out, it must spend, if you calculate this, then you have to pay this at house in just another place. Everybody just fall together and do maths. And what struck me was that there's a lot of young people. I never know young people really into the real estate thing and looking to own homes and them thing. It's kinda dope. I'm not telling a lie, I like the vibration there. So now here comes my view. So my view is on the whole vibe. I feel love because I try to take this seriously. You see me? Here we go. So people, I'm new to adulting. Let me just get that right out the way. I look like an old person, yes, but I'm new to adulting, I'm getting my life together. You know what I mean? I'm paying some bills, grocery shopping, getting my feet wet. Besides, given the fact that, I'm with the Bridge 99 and Sue Busway, I naturally have to be looking forward to securing certain assets, like a home, for example. But why? Based on what I saw, and read up about what the NHT pull and them thing there with the root vent towers, it look rough. It's like they must say, boy, Shelz. Even though you work with the bridge, you might have to live under one bridge, you know what I mean? It don't look good. It don't look good. It will be so I say it never look good. But, I'm going to be I'm going to just touch on the root vent thing really quick. I never want to talk about it too much. I'm going to talk about it. Root vent towers vibration. Zine, now I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because my mindset not elevate to certain class, structures. People know my mindset. My friend them know it already. Cheap. So, when I first heard the name, I just said, I can't afford that. Anything with towers, estates, any colonial terms and them thing. I just chop my mind from that and say, so because I thought like that, I was like, yo, nah, because I was really meant to live in that area anyway, because that is an option. I don't have to live there. But when I saw that, people were getting a little worked up over it, I started to say, let me check in and see what really are going on. What's causing people to get so, worked up. And yeah, as I said, I saw all of Twitter do BMATs and I try to calculate if we spend this amount time. And I say, oh, this serious. Like young people really are checking and I say, yo, this actually caught my attention. I'd love to live here, but the price thing don't make no sense. Now, so doing my maths and checking out the vibration, I say, yo, let me pre-why people are pre-NHT. It's simple, NHT is an institution that, National Housing Trust for those, because I know we have some foreign listeners who don't know what's going on, but it's National Housing Trust, see? And, this is an institution that is supposed to represent the people and put their best interests at heart, pun intended. Now, to your salary, a certain amount goes to the NHT, and over time, you can circle them in hopes of being a home owner or doing anything in relation to housing. That's dope. I love that concept. As a matter of fact, though, I will have to say, I think this is where the problem comes in. It's not only a certain demographic that throws money to NHT. Benji, I kind of hate that term, by the way. Throw money to NHT. I always hated it. When first time here, I said, yeah, But yeah, it's not only rich people throw money to the NHT. Seen? And so it was advertised that NHT has circled with some new developments for the middle class or working class and thing like that. Is middle and working class the same thing? The class structure in Jamaica it's just weird to me. I don't know how to. Is it? It's not. I don't know, but because I just say rich, poor. I don't know. They say it's the same. I don't know. Can't. Boy, yeah, because the working class poor people. Yeah, but anyways, that was what me I said without going on, and and people got excited for this. I can imagine why, because when it just follow, it's a nice area, isn't me? It's a 16 mil starting price, 16 mil, 22 mil. I said, boy, me link NHT and you don't know you're true. You're true the money. You say, all right, cool. This makes sense, but then you don't know now, when the house them debut and people start see the new prices, 27 mil, 35 mil, and 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. You can't add on, Benji. People love Jamaica love add on, Like, you spend certain money on add on, So, right, as a matter of fact, now people start say, the working class and the middle class start say, but no, NHT take with a fool. You see what I'm saying? And now, I also read that this whole property, only represents a small percentage of the development that NHT is planning to undergo, which is, I think it's kind of cool, it's kind of encouraging. But the problem is, I think a lot of people just feel like, average Jamaicans especially feel like, they would be more comfortable if NHT just use their money, let me say that, use our money, and, build some properties in places where, regular people can live. You know what I mean? I think they would be more comfortable with that. I don't know. I'm just a poor black man just trying to, offer some solutions. However, quick and fast though, let me just state the obvious. Now, I am no pro, but construction is a hell of a thing. And it comes with a bunch of costs that are open to inflation. Am I right? It's true. It makes sense. For example, the price of steel fly up among other things. So clearly those expenses will cause a change in the final price listings. I'm just saying. Next thing, the location of the place. Route Vent off Route Vent Road. That's all. Right? And about real estate that. I'm just saying. It's prime real estate. I'm just saying. For me, I say a place full of traffic. I hear traffic 24/7. But if that's what people call big at real estate, prime real estate, man, I see the whole of the studio, I get worked up over this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to trigger anybody. But hey, listen, I've heard many arguments. I hear some people argue that, them take too long with this construction, so of course inflation, they are going to reach them. I see people that say NHT should even propose to that place for working class or middle class. But here what me say, and people are going to hate me for this. NHT don't do the maths long time, see? Those units will be bought. See? I don't care what I say. Those units will be bought. Some working class people or middle class people are going to buy it too. You see me, sir? They will find a way. Some rich people are going to buy it and go some boops now and turn it in an Airbnb. That like a nice Airbnb place, but just I say. But the fact just remains, so you can't study another person's priorities. I just that. Every year, you see a new iPhone drop. See? Thank you, Benji. You see a new iPhone drop, and my first thing that come to my mind is like, nah, sir. I'm gonna put on the money there and buy a car, but when you look around the place, the new iPhone them they are about the place. Some of them always find a way for cop. Respect, Benji. Them always find a way for cop the latest. Now I know that's comparing apples and oranges, but I'm just saying priorities, right? You saw that? You got that? You got that, right? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'm just saying. You see me I say? Priorities. Everybody have them priorities. But in conclusion, my producer, that topic, trigger, it rough. But anyways, now I don't know if you can tell, Bridge Nation. I'm nonchalantly presenting my monologue tonight because there's a bit of a disconnect between me and the topic of home ownership. Like it just seems a bit fictitious to me here, here in Jamaica. I be asked me if I don't want a house. I can explain. I do. You know what I'm saying? My mom say, I'm there with the Bridge 99, I know, say it a forward. But I'm just saying there's a disconnect, right? Because it just seems fictitious if somebody says, hey, you young man, you can own a home, you know that? And then I can say, yeah, when I'm no longer a young man. That's how me just meant it. And I don't care how many commercials them use young people in. Them have young people that hold key to house and car. Nah, that can't trip me. I just follow the nice jingle and just go about my business. But I don't know how it's so easy though. I have to put this in. I don't know how it's so easy to justify raising the price for everything else. Them talk about the steel raise, this raise, but how them can't all know. I don't know. I don't watch news a lot, but I don't know if them actually justify why people pay can't raise. I don't know. But that's the real thing. Because if people pay, did I go up them can I say minimum wage? All of them, I say. You see me I say? That's my question, right? I think we should also run a stat on how many people are paying rent and how many of them can actually tell when they'll stop paying rent. I'm just saying, But listen, big up the parents though and the grandparents who try to set up them some land or some house for them youth them. You see me? Or big up the people them that collect the label from the container for your chance to win a brand new home. Because may I tell you the truth, I thought that looked like the only feasible way right now. I could be wrong. And I'm hoping tonight that I'll be proven wrong because as I said, there's a huge disconnect between me and the home ownership vibration. Yeah, I've seen young people do it, but I've also seen a lot of young people just say, I rent it there, So I hope that my guests that are forwarding tonight can help change my perspective. As always, people, I'm new to the adulting game, so just give me a chance to learn. Yes, Abby, I'm new at 27. All right, I'm still at the age where I can tell my age. Yes, people, I'm not ashamed. I'm learning it. So let's hope that tonight my perspective can change as a young person and, going into the whole home ownership vibration. This is the streets according to your boy Shelz. We're going to pay some bills. Isn't it? So far after the break.
It's your girl Sage, and you're listening to Bridge 99 FM.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. You don't know this is the streets according to me, your boy Shelz, right here on the Bridge 99 FM. Now, tonight we're discussing, home ownership tagged by the unrealistic price. We really want to find out, really and truly, can young people realistically say, yo, I want to go own a home? Own! I say own. You see me? I say own. I put a lot of emphasis on that. And tonight, you guys heard my monologue. I tell you, I'm new to this, so I'm glad that I'm joined by some guests who will definitely help me understand the vibration and let me know, say, yo, it is possible or it's not possible. I don't know. Let's see. So you don't know the people's favorite, Mark Davis, Bridges' favorite as well, Mark Davis. People, quick story. I'm telling you why Mark is here. When I heard the topic, Mark, I was like, yo, I need to talk to somebody else. Because I won't ever me alone feel like this for me. Because I know a lot of influential young people doing them thing and look like them and live them life. And it go already on social media. Somebody say, I'm a link Mark. I want me hear Mark shot me a voice note and say, hey, yo, bro, it rough, It rough out there, And I say, all right, Mark, say less forward in the studio, bro. So thank you for being here. And I'm actually excited for this one, for this gentleman here. Mr. Wow, that's not sound right. Why? Hold on there.
Fix it fast.
Pause. I am sorry. But you know, it is encouraging to see that this gentleman is here in the studio with us, Mr. Howard Johnson Jr., CEO of Howard Johnson Realty and President of the Realtor Association of Jamaica. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
Past
man.
president.
Past president. Hey,
Very, very big
hey, you
deal.
know stuff. Past president. Let me just get that correct. And Abby, is it true we also have Mr. Ian Daly on Zoom? Are we sure about that? In live? In with her? All right.
Yeah, man, that's correct. That's correct.
All right. Mad respect, man. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Daly is a realtor consultant.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, a homeowner.
A homeowner. Hey,
Yeah, man.
hey.
See, so we
Yeah,
can
that's
wrap
even
up the show.
better.
We can
That's
wrap
even
up.
better.
Possible.
All right. So you see, because he look very young,
Very young.
and him own a home, so we're good. But so yeah, a lot of, and it's nice to see that, you know, gentlemen, we're here tonight. And so guys, please encourage me first and foremost. Mark, we spoke about this, bro. We spoke about this. Young people, you know, our average age group. Is it possible? We're not talking to the pros yet. We're not talking to the homeowner yet. We're talking, Mark, as a bro, tell the truth. Is it possible for young people to be homeowners in Jamaica?
I'll tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
All right.
it is possible. But at what cost and what demographic?
Okay. Explain.
That is how I'm going to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the average person, the salary that they're earning, the contributions that they've made over the years, and when you even think about it, the average person who probably never started working until probably 25 or 24, how long do they even have to contribute before they can qualify for NHT? And that's why I said the demographics, because the persons that I know who own homes right now are persons who are in a more, let's say, privileged position.
Whoa, we'll see if Mr. Dillon
That's the way I put it. In a more privileged position.
right.
You know, either people who have somebody to pass on a house to them, or the salary that they're earning now is good enough to pay that $100,000 mortgage. Right? And, you know, or they're married, and fortunate for them, they could put together the contributions
Right.
and purchase a home.
Right.
But again, is that the average Jamaican?
Good question. Ian, I'm throwing the same question to you. First of all, I don't know how I met this
man.
past me. Put him up on the Zoom and we can see him clearly, because him look very familiar.
It kind of dark.
No, man, no. You look like a college man.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man. I know it. I knew it. Fortis, man. It makes sense. Of course, I got a home, brother. Come on, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Where's your home?
Hey.
Where you heard?
Tell them, thank you, Abby. Tell them some of my home is coming. I'm with the Bridge 99. Jeez. Hey. JC, man, I do the engineering.
He's
You see me? I
building
say,
the
Ian,
bridge towards his home now, guys.
there's a little bit of hate. But Ian, tell the truth. You heard Mark say, he realized that persons our age with homes, like they have, you know, they come from a bit more privileged situations. Is that true? Was that the case for you when it came to, you know, you were owning a home?
No, man, I don't. I beg to differ.
Right.
Okay.
It's just, I say, it's more like, you know what you want, the person can you push on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but you have to go probably, you know, put aside some things inside and sort of like a delayed gratification type of vibe.
What?
You know, for you to achieve, because it's not going to be easy, you know. So if it means you have to go stop the party, you know, or, you know, stop the eating out, for you to kind of achieve it. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a more privileged kind of setting.
It's just a discipline, it's a mindset thing, just like everything else.
Is that? I would
enough
agree.
Enough respect. Now, Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
you know, now, so you hear from the young people. Well, am I going to get to go? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? I thought I'm a frightened past president and them think, no, but yo, I want to know. They often say it's good to buy a home. Are true, Abby, them really say it's good to buy a home when you're young? Are true? Cause I mean, I know when my parents are my age, and them baby in the oven and them have cattle and land and them thing, them I know. But what I want to know, is it practical? Is it practical for young people to actually buy a home right now?
It is very practical. It is something that everyone should aspire to do as early as they can. I've heard the conversation, and first of all, respect for bringing me on here to just
No
show
problem.
some vibes and some
Yeah,
perspective from a median perspective, because I'm here as a young man, you know, despite the grave. I COVID did this now. Not watch no face. I COVID did this, but just to hear the perspective, your monologue, and what Mark had to say, and also the perspective from Ian, because it is a combination of your mindset and your approach to acquiring your dream home, right? And your objectives. I mean, school. When do you start college? Do you take a year off after high school? Do you go 2 years? And it's all about your mindset. But coming back to the real estate thing, you have to be deliberate with your actions. You have to be very deliberate with your action. And I know a lot of young people who are homeowners. Some of them are homeowners and a second-time homeowner. And some of them have investment. Ooh. But it's sometimes, yes, it's the situation and how they, the positions and the companies or the families that they grew up in, and they, they get a blessing, right? But there are some person who have a hustle. And I have found, because right now, as you mentioned, the Ruthven Towers and other developments in the corporate era, they're being sold out. And they're being sold out before they are even finished construction, right? So there is a property for every single person. How bad they want it.
So what we are telling me, because I know that for a fact, so even because it's not just Ruthven, as you rightly say, I have a lot of developments right now, them, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can say that these places are prime real estate locations, right?
Well, let me further say that the Kingston and St. Andrew area, especially in the corporate era,
right?
If you look around the world, the corporate areas and the downtowns are the most expensive places to live in most major cities. We have been spoiled in Jamaica because we grew up in a half-acre piece of land in Paddington or Barbican or Meadowbrook, Havendale, and we feel comfortable. But the truth is, in those areas, that land space can be used for have a better and higher use and value, and persons are capitalizing on it. And as they build out, people are looking in those communities for living, but it's usually the most expensive location. And real estate is always about location. So if you're looking at Ruthven, if you're looking at New Kingston, if you're looking at Kingston 6, Kingston 8, these are the areas that are going to demand prime dollar. Can a 25-year-old person that just finished high school look towards living in these communities? Maybe not. Right. And that's why in the real estate you see people matriculating from one community to the other. Them get a little bit, them start a family, them gone to them give up them studio, them gone to a now 2-bedroom, take on a little child and them gone to a 3-bedroom, and them they get the dream house in a different community. So it's all a process. Right. But there are sacrifices that come along the way, and young people is, the term young person is really relative to your age.
Thank you.
It's relative to your age, but not necessarily a mindset. Because Ian has given up and made some sacrifices to reach where he is now. True. There are others now on the flip side that may not have been very serious about their approach to acquiring their home and develop bad credit. Because them spending more than them can manage. Right. Take out 2 credit cards and then blow it up. Then when you start to know, say, all right, I'm ready to buy this Ruthven at 16 or another property at 15, and you say, yeah, I can get 6.5 from NHT, and my B can get another 13 million. That I probably can borrow another 500 from credit union or something like that. When you take a stock, where you want to live, to keep up with the grandma and all of them things, all right? And you see people are floss, and that's not where you are at.
So Howard, very good point. So what I want to know, you mentioned social media a while ago. So the person is making the noise, and all right, let me not disrespect and say noise, but the person will raise the issues on social media. Is there any merit to what they're saying?
There is merit. There is in fact merit, and it's not specific to any development, but just the general home price. Okay. Right? When you're looking at buying a 600 square feet property for $27 million, a studio for $27 million, that kind of hard.
Madness.
Right. That is hard, right? When you're looking at a 2-bedroom for $35 million, it's kind of hard for some people. Right. But it is reasonable for others. And if you're looking at investment and the return on investment, real estate is one of the best products for that sort of return.
Indeed.
So if you're going to spend $30 million and earn $5 million every year annually, that's a good investment. It's worth to spend the $30 million. But if you are struggling and you need to find a house somewhere, a roof, and don't want to pay rent, and you're looking at 35, it's going to be daunting. But are there other communities that you can look at? And are these communities where you want to live and where you want to raise your family? And you have to be practical. You have to understand your own circumstance and not watch nobody else's circumstance. And then see how you can develop to move from one entity to another. We're not born and just go straight to college. We have to learn some basics in a primary school and all along the way until you get to where you need to get. And some people graduate earlier than some,
See there?
You understand? So it's all a process, and you have to understand how you approach the whole home ownership thing and just be appreciative of your own circumstances.
I agree.
That's true.
I agree. Ian, I just want to ask you quickly. So, we heard Howard, speak about the process, in terms of own ownership. Not to pry, well, though I do mean to pry. What was your process? What was your process like? Because I have a virgin, he's not here, but just casual conversation. It go already in the streets. I always talk. Virgin, I said there's a serious rent culture. The first time I ever hear it. You understand me? I say. So I want to know.
There's a rent culture.
A lot of people just more comfortable just paying rent instead of just say, one day, let me own a home. I want to know if that was ever a thought for you. Did you go through the renting process, then home ownership? What was it for you?
All right. So, well, as I say, it depends on the person. So I had in my mind long time from college days, say, I wasn't going to ever pay rent. I have to go own something first.
Right.
So, yeah, but you have to remember now, it is easier to go rent as opposed to own, because then when you own it, there are certain expenses that come with it. There are certain things that you have to worry about. You have to worry about property tax. You have to worry about pest control. You have to worry that the place is insured. You have to, if this break, you don't have a landlord to call you, you have to look on yourself. So it means, when you own it, you have to go make another added sacrifice to say, then again, put away little money for when the rainy day comes.
Right.
You get what I say? So, but as a young person now, bring it back to owning the place. All right. So for me to own my place, it was joint. So it's me and my lady. And we say, all right, then cool, I'm gonna do this. The hardest part of it is the down payment and the closing costs and the other costs. So if I'm gonna be real, and I always say this even in my office, the education system kind of fail because you don't know about these fees and costs until you're reaching the process. Or a lawyer will tell you, and you have to go pay the lawyer, right? And all them things. So I never know, say, all right, so everybody knows that a loan comes with processing fee. All right, fair enough. But then when I think I only pay a closing cost on just the home where, the owner of it, the previous owner, the property developer, go and pay his half and you go and pay your half. But then I hear say I have to pay another closing cost as it relates to the bank. When I buck up in that, I have to say, yo, what am I going to do? But luckily now, you might say this is privilege. And they have, my stepfather could have looked at me and said, I see I got through and I try. So here's a little thing for help out. So most of it, we had to flip it. Right. And I'd say certain opportunities come my way early, so we did start work early. We start work before I finish university.
Right.
So here I'm at now at age 28, going 29. I was able to progress. So my salary is not the salary of somebody just walking out the street, because then I gain experience before. So you have to kind of be deliberate with the actions, your movements, how you're going to do it.
True.
And if you want to do it.
There's enough respect there, man, and that's a perfect note to pause on. Whew, hold on. And if you're right down this door, how I feel like, I should have been right in this door. I'm not even the college connection, I don't know. But more from the streets according to me, your boy Shelz after the break. So far.
One love, one heart, one Jamaica. On the Bridge 99 FM.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I don't know, so from here, the body instrumental, you know that this is the streets according to me, your boy Shelz. Heard right here on the bridge, 99 FM. Oh, man, I'm learning. After every show, I feel like I can say that. And that's a brilliant thing, because Mark, we were speaking off here before we forward, when you just forward and say, oh, I ain't not supposed to feel ashamed. Say, I'm going to know about certain topics when it comes. Even as the host or whatever. Cause man say, yo, people, man, tell the truth. I'm going to tell them to say, yo, I'm new to this. I'm very new. So a while ago, you know, Mark and Howard, they spoke about something I'm going to bring up right now. Because I hear people talk about this a lot. You understand me? And that's the whole vibration of mortgage, right? And Mark, I don't know if you want to ask a question, because you say you have a question you want to Ian, right?
I have two, actually, for Ian.
Sure, man. Go ahead, man.
Because, so Ian, I admire your discipline, because again, to get to where you want to get to from the age that you were at, you understand, you definitely had to have the drive, you understand? But I wanted to ask you, number one, would you consider where you live a quote unquote prime location? I don't you never tell me where you live. You understand?
I don't know if Howard want say, but I live in Meadowbrook area. So I think
it's decent. That's decent. Yeah, good, man.
What do you mean?
You're going good.
You're going good.
You're trying to be humble, but
you're going good, man.
Yes,
and then the second question, and I think this is what Shelz really want to really get into, is paying the mortgage. I know you started off early, so your mortgage probably wasn't as high. But how do you...
When you consider high.
Here we go.
All right. So, because again, to be honest, high is relative, because it depends on what you can afford. Because for some people, because I know people my age who buying houses that cost 25 mil, and the mortgage you're paying right now is like 130, 140.
All right. So mine don't reach 105, but mine in the 100 region. Mine is actually, I think 105 or 106, something like that.
That's still good. That's good compared to others that I've heard.
So hold on. Oh, sorry, Ian, go ahead.
No man, yeah. So and I think that's fair. That's fair. But you have people out there, for where I live, paying 130, 40.
That's why I ask you. And way more than that too.
And more than that too.
Okay.
So Boy, I don't know. It's a very tricky thing.
No, but
it have to go with it have to be like how much you earn, and after you pay a mortgage. As I said, it is much easier when it is a 2-person household as opposed to a 1-person household.
Okay.
Because then I have a manager that recently just get her apartment, and it's she alone. And she is in her mid-30s, whereas me get it from 27. So you said to yourself, what she do wrong? But she want to do her own thing, so that make it harder.
So that's Shelz need to find somebody.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Advertisement that
That's man, if you come out for the streets and go do some digging.
Alright, we like that. Howard. So like I said, I'm learning something right here. So Howard, I want to know, so age is a big thing when it comes to the whole mortgage game. I want you to explain that for me. Right, and for the viewers who might not quite understand.
So your producer mentioned the younger you are, the longer your mortgage can stretch, right?
Okay.
And the longer the period is, the less your monthly will be, right? So if you look at a retirement age, and some financial institution would consider 65 as your retirement age,
right?
And some may even extend to 70, depending on the institution and how flexible they are, and your earning power that is. So if you look at 65 for example, you're looking at a typical mortgage tenure of 30 years, and you take away that 30 from 65, you need to purchase your home by age 30, right? To be able to get the extension of 30 years, which will make your monthly. Now, if I can't tell my years still, but if you are 45 and you're going for your first loan, and they say, boy, retirement is 65, you only have 20 years. So the amount that I would get to pay back in 20 years is going to be way higher than what Mark will get at 15. Well, no, how much more?
29 now.
See there? So him have one more year to go before he need to secure his first mortgage to get that tenure of 30. No. Some will go to 35, you know. Don't get me wrong, and go up to age 70. Again, it's a discussion that you need to have with your financial institution.
Right.
But you may want to get started as early as you can, because the longer your loan is the less you pay monthly. But it doesn't mean that you're saving, because in the long run, you're paying this mortgage and you're paying interest for a longer period of time. Hence, why a lot of persons focus on making a larger down payment. And it requires preparing yourself by saving. Right? Saving, putting something aside, like what Ian mentioned. Because he buck up on a thing where him find him deposit and then him talk about closing costs. But suppose he had 20% to put down and he's financing 80%. Many of us can barely find 5%, 10%. You know, for finance 95% and 90%. You're going to find yourself paying more mortgage. So his mortgage in that area, and another thing that struck me when he mentioned the community that he lives in, he may or may not know that he's now probably sitting on equity based on the time that he bought.
Yep.
So if he bought some years ago and when Meadowbrook prices were like in the teens or early 20s, and now them are buck up on $40 million. If him for sell him home now and get $40 million and pay off him loan, him can now go embark on something bigger and move into a bigger community. So again, it's how deliberate you are to get your first start. So a quad is not a bad thing. Portmore is not a bad thing.
Say that again, please.
A quad is not a bad thing. Portmore is not a bad thing.
Amen.
Old Harbour is not a bad thing,
Amen.
right? So if you adapt to your circumstance and then you are deliberate to say, all right, this is my entry level. Where's level 1? Where's level 2? Where's level 3? And plan with guidance, because as Ian said, he was not properly guided, and we're talking about it off the air with Mark, that he doesn't know a lot of things. You need to have a conversation with your realtor. Shameless plug for Howard Johnson Realty Limited, right?
Yeah, man.
Sponsor of Real Estate Today tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Richie B. But
All
that-
right.
it doesn't flow off of me, but
Yeah.
when you speak to your professionals, and if you are with a bank, a financial institution, you have a bank, get familiar with your branch manager. Get familiar with your banker. Let them start to take steps and guide you as to what to do, how to build your reservoir of resources, so that when the time comes, you have your deposit, you have this. And even if you don't have it, because you have been such a good customer, they may extend lower interest rates to you so that you don't even go to another financial institution. So interest rates have been trending down. And just like how them talking about vaccine people get privileges, you see, if you have a good credit score, you see if you have a good credit score. You see if you have a good credit score.
Yeah.
You understand? You walk into any financial institution, them will run you down to give you the best interest rate. So don't take out the thing from Singer and Courts and nobody pay it. And 2 months you say, I'm not pay it this month. I'm going to skip this. Right? And you start develop. Them lock off my phone, you can go a couple of days without it and me turn it back on. When you know got to get your credit report and them, the bank look at it and say, boy, you're not really a good steward, you're not really responsible enough. So we can't give you this rate. And you start get a higher rate. Then now people start out, young people can't own no house, because they not look out for me, but it's how you position yourself, and you may have dug yourself put yourself in a hole because you didn't properly plan or get the right guidance.
Wow.
So many steps that you have to take before you start by that first.
You mentioned something very important, and just like Shelz, I am learning as I grow. I feel like for the people our age who don't understand the importance of a credit score, you understand? How do you build your credit score? How do you maintain that? And how do you even go about getting a credit card? Because I know that is one way to build a credit score. But if I don't want a credit card, how can I build that? Because as far as I know, a lot of people think it's just foreign people alone have credit score and 401k and all them.
I was that person.
It's discipline. It's discipline. So if you're renting, you're going to have a light bill. You might have a water bill. You might have a cable bill. Right? You have insurance payments. You have a car note. Right? All of these things that you are paying, these are all contributing factors to the bureau that collates all the information. So if you took out something from Courts or Singer, if I may mention those,
Yeah,
those
man, go
brands,
ahead.
right? And you default on it, they're going to send your information to the bureau to say, boy, Mark never do good on this, so no bother, is a red flag.
Right.
Right, so every little bill that you have, ensure that you pay it on time.
Right.
And don't take it lightly that them give you $250 for paying it on time, You see that $250 times 5 years,
Yes.
every month, can do something towards a valuation or something,
That is true.
So if you're not only building, so if you are doing all of those things, you're not only building your credit rating,
Right.
but you're also putting something in the kitty. But it's all down to discipline.
But what if I have no rent, no light? So what if I live with my parents?
Right.
And I don't contribute to any of those things.
Right.
I am just at home. I'm 30. I don't owe anybody. I've never ever started to experience what it is to have credit.
Right.
Where do you work?
How do I start?
Where do you work? What's your earning power? Because you will have to understand that, all right, I'm now starting out as Mark, so I'm fresh in this adult, Shelz, I'm fresh in the adult thing, right?
world,
Me
yeah.
new, but just a boss, right? But him up on the bridge.
Right.
So if you know, say, over a period of time, I'm going to earn a little money. And him know, so if I go...
I go over
so
the bridge.
Him say, all right, this is what me going to get now. And me go put down, because I definitely want to own the house. I'm going to really want to buck up on the B, and then she ready and me not ready. So I'm going to take out something out of that bridge money and put aside. But some people, them take out the bigger portion and start splurge on things that they're not going to get back. Probably a one night enjoyment somewhere.
Guilty.
Right?
Yeah.
And them spend the money there. No, when it's time for the deposit and them say them can't find $150,000 to do this and $150,000. If you think about 1 year, one Saturday night out of every month, you blow $15,000. Over $150,000 for the year. You understand? So what you have to do is to be deliberate, as I said, this is my goal and this is how I'm going to reach it and this is how I'm putting aside.
No, sorry, no me for cut you, but because as people, as you know, they can WhatsApp me down 876-551-5782 if you don't want to join in on the comment. Kind of too late now still, but you don't know. Somebody just reach out and say, oh, I should ask this question. Should we still consider contributing to the NHT?
Yes,
Okay.
because whether you're purchasing a home that is low income or middle income or high income, that benefit that you can get if you qualify for the maximum currently of $6.5 million goes a long way based on the interest rate that they're giving you. So if you're buying something for $15 million and the interest rate is 8%, or let's say 8%,
Right.
NHT is giving you $6.5 million out of that $15 million at a low interest rate. So your payback on that interest on that NHT portion is way low. And then you're paying now the market rate of 8% on the balance. So whether you're thinking of just buying, I'm not going to contribute to NHT because I pay expensive house and building. At some point, you're going to want to buy a house. So no matter what the price point is, if the price point is $7 million, you're getting 6.5 from NHT at a low interest rate and only have to borrow $500,000 at a high interest rate. But imagine if you don't contribute, you're now exposing yourself to the full purchase price at the higher interest rate. So you're going to want to always consider the NHT component and be diligent. And even if you work with a company or your contract does not allow for statutory deductions, you can go into the NHT and say, look here, I want to contribute. And if you contribute for a year and you're disciplined with that, then you can now apply for benefits. And not just that, because NHT has a wealth of other products that they can offer. And I don't work at NHT, but just 24 years of experience in the business, I have had to prepare young people as to how to get the most from NHT. The mortgage amount, they can help you with deposit, and look at the areas and some of the schemes that they're building. It's not all bad. You understand?
All right, so final words, right? So much to just digest, and I should have taken a notepad with me. But Ian, final words from you, man, in terms of young people and home ownership. What do you have to say, quickly?
It's possible.
It's possible.
I have many friends who have done it. Either buy land. I have a friend right now, good friend. Him own 2 land right now. One in building and the other one him thinking about to do something with it later on.
Right.
So before you you say it's not possible. It is possible, and how you do it, you just have to make certain sacrifices. You know,
Right.
you want a new iPhone 13, no buy it. The phone still a work. You know, you just have to know about certain things. And as
Yeah,
I
man.
would say, before I got cut off, your the credit score thing. Me thinking that I never owned anything, I paid for everything cash I did do, was a good thing, but then that came to bite me in the homeowner section.
All right.
So it's good to get educated. So
Right.
get educated as much as possible.
And this-
Speak
and-
to people who have
and-
the knowledge.
Right.
And it can happen. No
Enough
matter the
respect.
age. It's 27, 90.
Enough respect, Ian. Mark, quickly. Any final words?
Final words for me. I agree. It is possible. And I just got even more motivation from Ian. It is possible to own a home.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
And so, yo, hear them a play way off like at the Grammys this. A joke. But yo, thanks to all my special guests, man. You know, do you have any final words? Sorry, what I mean for?
Or just keep the dream alive
Yeah.
and get the right advice and do your thing.
And of course, if you don't want, good realtor advice, you don't know Howard Johnson Realty.
That's right.
Link him up.
That's
you
where it's at.
understand what I say? Well, yes, people, this has been another brilliant show. With me, your boy Shelz on the streets. I've learned a lot of stuff, and I'm inspired. So thank you, Ian, Mark, Howard. Thank you guys so much. Hope you
Welcome.
guys were inspired as well at home. Big up on yourself. I'll see you guys next week. Out there.
The Bridge 99 FM,